Well, hey, handy people, Dan here. Hey, have you ever thought about the forgotten tools? The tools you use every day and then take for granted? Well, I'd like to share with the ones I'm using on this restoration over here. And I was thinking about this, and there's quite a few of them. So come on. You know, the tools range from like a roll around creeper, because I don't have a hoist, to jack stands, appropriate size. And note that the jack stand, the blue one's holding up the front wheel drive steering rack. And then even to simple tools like a strap for holding the brake caliper before I take it off. And then let's go over here and look at this. This is called an engine brace, or a engine bar, engine support bar, I guess. And it's a 1,000-pound capacity unit. Right now, it's holding this engine and transmission up, and that's a wonderful tool. Another simple tool is a rubber floor mat. It's nice to kneel on that versus the concrete, or a small step stool for getting up and about. And oh, there's another one of those straps. Okay. Let's go over here now and keep on looking at things. Another stool. I really like this one because of the tray below, because I can, I like it when, especially for taking wheels off. I throw the lugs, as you can see, in the bottom. This plastic table I've used for a variety of pieces of the project, from cleaning the transmission to prepping the new intercooler and heater. The radiator, excuse me. And then this tool, 2.5 ton, it's a Pittsburgh, it's a rapid pump, but more importantly, it raises it up 18.5 inches. So that's an amazing tool. Here's another great tool. It's a box I built, and it has two 1,000-pound Harbor Freight dollies that are incorporated in it, and a big 3/4 inch top. And right now I've got a big piece of OSB 3/4 on top of it, so that I can hold the whole rear suspension and a few other goodies. That's a wonderful tool, because that helps me move heavy things around. I also store a bunch of my downpipe stuff in there, so that gives it ballast and weight. You'll notice, well, it's hard to see there, but let me show you. Here's another one of those 1,000-pound Harbor Freight dollies. And this one, I added some additional wood to it, to the center here. And that is this layer, and then that's so it's level. And then I put a piece of OSB on top of that, and that's a wonderful, wonderful aid in moving stuff around. As we go back here, obviously engine stand, but I didn't use it in this project. Sawhorses. You can see they're well worn, well used. Use them a lot. The dolly, the two-hand hand dolly, I've used that to move heavy pieces around for this project. This is a Harbor Freight, one of those transmission jacks, and man, that's been super handy. And then right behind it is my, this tool is one of the ones I use to lift engines. It's an engine hoist, and it's rated up to 1.5 tons, or 2 tons, 2 tons. And that's also a Pittsburgh tool. Yeah, I've got a lot of Pittsburgh tools, but they do help pay their freight when you use them. And I find them to be pretty decent overall. Then there's some really important tools I'm going to show you next. Next up, in no particular order, hearing protection. Really important when you're doing using like impact wrench, grinding, cutting, etc. Gloves. You notice these are nitro gloves. These are real heavy duty ones. I really like these because I can use them more than once. Some leather gloves when the situation calls for, if I have to carry something heavy. Let's talk about gloves. They offer 2 types of protection. One's a physical protection against cuts, nicks, and everything. The other thing is it protects you against the chemicals that come in contact when you're doing car restoration. And as you can see from the staining on these, there's you know, oil and grease and who knows what else, dusts of different types. That stuff is not good to get on your hands, and so you want to protect yourself from the chemicals that can actually penetrate into your skin and get into your bloodstream. And in today's day, where lots of people are getting cancers and things, well, nothing's for sure, but it sure is for sure that these protect. So then the final thing is a dust mask, and you know, I'm guilty. I'll forget to put these on. This particular one is an N95. It's a really good one because it's easy to breathe through, but it's a pain to wear, as is most personal protective equipment. However, that's a critical tool in getting this job complete. Okay, in this final corner, we have a shop vac, which is critical for cleaning up the debris and dust, because this is not only my shop, but it's a main walkway thoroughfare into our home, which you know, you go in that door there, and that's a lot of opportunity to bring some of this nasty stuff that you're taking off the car into the house, and that guy right there really helps. Next up is the acetylene torch. Not oxyacetylene, just a straight acetylene. It gets hotter than you know, a propane torch, a lot hotter, and it's been indispensable in getting stubborn bolts to remove, or stubborn brake lines to come out. That little darling right there does the job. And then next to it is a tool I don't use as much, but have used on this project, and that is my little anvil setup. And for years I had this little piece of railroad tie that I bought at a garage sale for, I think, $5. Somebody made it into a little anvil, and I took it and I mounted it on that chunk of oak to give it a, you know, raise it up a little bit and give it some more weight. And that's a wonderful tool. I use that for a lot of the metal stuff. So these are some of the tools. I think I got them all. I mean, there's some hand tools, drills, an impact wrench, and so forth that I use as well, but I won't bore you with those. But I wanted to kind of bring in the thought process of there's a lot of tools needed, and these forgotten tools, you know, these tools that we kind of take for granted, they are tools, and they're used all through the project. And yeah, I think that you'll find that if you start to do restoration, you don't have to have everything. I certainly didn't when I started, but over time, I took things and built them and so forth, and glad I did. That box, by the way, has been so handy. I set engines and transmissions, and I've taken transmissions off of engines. I've put transmissions onto engines. I've done a lot of engine restoration using that box. So there's a lot of cool tools, and they all contribute to the bigger picture, which is a successful restoration. Hey, thanks for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll keep these coming.